Hello everybody, welcome. For today's little class, just very brief, we'll do some shoulder opening today. This one's really nice, particularly at night time before bed. If you do make this sort of a consistent part of your practice, you'll really see the benefits of this one. I have in my own practice anyway. So we'll start, you can start seated, you can sit on blocks, you can sit cross-legged. I prefer this one on the shins. This first one I'm going to show you from behind. This first one, we reach the arms back behind us, and we reach and grab for either somewhere on the forearms, or depending how open you are, you might be able to reach and grab for elbows, or maybe even opposite triceps. From there, as you've got that connection, I'll come back around, drawing the front of the shoulders back, then gently pulling the elbows from side to side, or wherever you're holding on to. Opposite direction. So I'm pulling my right hand towards the right, my left towards the left. All right, just breathing. And release. From there, we'll take our hands behind the back, reach and grab and interlace the fingers behind your back. From there, press the knuckles down and away, draw the shoulder heads back, draw the shoulder blades together, and then reach the arms back any degree behind you. From here, I'm trying to keep the hands or the palms of the hands, the heels of the hands together as I draw the fingers apart. You might look more something like this. That's totally fine. We're trying to make that heel connection. Maybe eventually it might get there. Doesn't really matter. All right, releasing that. And then we'll go back to that grabbing opposite elbows. This time as you grab the elbows, they'll go to their default position. Switch the cross. So switch which hand is on top and which hand is on bottom. We have that same action, shoulder heads roll back and the elbows pull a little bit apart from each other. Nice slow breath. All right, release that. Let's move the shoulders around a little bit. And from there, we'll come back to that interlaced position with the hands reaching back behind you. This time we'll go opposite pinky on top. So put the pinky on top, that feels a little bit funny, feels a little bit one that's not your default. And reach those arms back behind you and those shoulder blades drawing together and down the back, trying to let them creep up. Nice, release. Shake it out a little bit, move the shoulders around. This next one, I'll give you two options for this next one. So first option would be eagle arms with the right elbow under and the left elbow at top. So reach your arms up, cross the left elbow on top of the right, then reach the forearms up and away from you and squeeze the forearms together. If this one doesn't work for you in your body and your shoulders, which it doesn't work for everybody, left forearm cross and the right forearm reaching up towards the sky and those forearms pressing into each other. The right forearm's trying to draw back and the left forearm is resisting that. If you're in those eagle arms, again, forearms pressing into each other, elbows reaching up, elbows reaching forward. All right, release and shake it out a little bit. I'm going to grab my blocks. Don't need to, but just to get a little bit more comfortable here, I'm going to sit down here. All right, from there we'll go opposite side. So we went right elbow under. This time we'll go left elbow under or right forearm across. So find your version. Okay, if it doesn't work for you, if it's just not comfortable to take those eagle arms, this is still a great stretch. It's no less of a stretch, just a different stretch, the one that's maybe more appropriate for your body, which is what you should always be aiming for. And forearms pressing into each other, whichever one you're taking. If you're in those eagle arms, elbows reaching up, elbows reaching forward and up. All right, release. Then shake it out a little bit. Now this next one, we may need a strap for this one. So if you don't have a yoga strap, that's all good. You can grab a towel, you can grab a shirt, many different things. If some of you might not need it at all. If you're not sure if you need it or not, you can pause the video, grab yourself one of those items. From there, we'll take the right elbow up towards the sky with the strap or whatever you're holding, folding or reaching back behind you. I'll show you from this angle. And from there, with that left hand, I'm going to gently press that elbow down a little bit further down the back. That left arm will come behind. I'll bend the elbow. And from here, I either just grab onto the strap and pull in opposite directions, or perhaps you can grab for opposite fingers and then pulling in opposite directions. The top arm pulling up, the bottom arm pulling down. But I'm really trying to get that bottom arm a little bit higher, a little further into that internal rotation. Apologize for having my back to you. All right, release that, or maybe shake it out a little bit, that left arm, a little bit spicy. And I'll come back to the front, this next one. So again, you might need a strap, you might not. This time we'll take that left arm, reach it up towards the sky, again bend the elbow. I'll take that right hand behind to press it down a little bit. I like to have that elbow personally behind the head if you can get it there. Give me something to press my head into so I'm not tucked down. I'm lifting up. From there, that right arm will reach behind. I walk it up the back and look for those fingertips. Nice breathing, slowly, deeply. Try not to let the ribs puff out too much here. Try to keep them nice and contained. Pulling the hands in opposite directions. Just another couple breaths. Okay, release. Nice, from there we can just pop our strap over to the side. And we'll come to a tabletop position. Let's come to hands and knees. From there, reach that right arm up towards the sky. And then thread the needle to the left. So right forearm comes under the left, down over the back of that hand, the back of the forearm, onto the right ear towards the ground. The right side of the head anyway. From there, either staying right there or reaching the left arm up towards the sky. And then bending that elbow, either looking for the low back, coming to a little bind, or maybe you can walk that hand to the inside of that right thigh, and then opening that left shoulder up towards the ceiling while I press the right forearm and hand down into the ground. Nice, bring that left hand back down, reach the right arm back up to the sky. And we'll do the same thing, second side. Reach that left arm up to the sky. And thread the needle to the right, left forearm, under the right forearm, down to the left side of the head. And staying right there if that's good for you. Maybe reaching the right arm up to take that same bind that you took on the other side to the low back or to the inside of that left thigh this time, right shoulder rolling towards the sky. Nice, release. Come back up, reach that arm back up to the sky, and bring it back down. From here, we're going to come into puppy pose. So try and keep the hips stacked on top of the knees, and we'll take an active version of puppy pose. So what that means is rather than having the palms flat down on the ground, we'll be up on the fingertips like this with the hands a bit wider. So from here, I reach the arms, I'll come back a little bit here, I reach the arms, a big step out in front of you and wide, a little bit wider with the hands, and then start to sink the forehead down towards the ground and lift the bum up towards the sky. And with those fingertips, I'm creeping them away from me a little bit, and then I'm pressing them down and gently dragging them back towards me. Just for a moment here, the active version, then we'll come into a more passive version. Nice. From there, allow the palms to flatten down towards the ground and start to sink your chest down towards the ground. Either staying on the forehead, I like to come onto the chin for this one. And imagine your chest and your armpits softening towards the ground with each breath out. All right, from there, lift up a little bit and then come all the way down onto your belly. Reach the hands a little bit out in front of you, so we're in a Sphinx pose here. And we'll take the prone chest stretch. So from here, I'll show you the left side first. We'll take the left elbow out to the side, still in that 90-degree angle. So 90 degrees from shoulder to elbow to wrist. So maybe the elbow a little bit further out in front might feel better here. From here, come onto the left side, so onto your left ear. Bring the right fingertips in by the right rib cage. Bend the right knee. Then begin to roll towards the left side. And with the left forearm, the left hand, maintain a little bit of press down into the ground here. Nice, couple more breaths. Beautiful, come back through center. We'll set up back in that Sphinx. I'll show you just on the other side. So you're still in that Sphinx pose. Gently pull the chest forward. And take that right elbow out to that side. Again, that 90 degrees. Left fingertips by the left rib cage onto the right ear. Bend the left knee. Roll to your right side. If you're consistent with this one, if you're able to do this practice, 2 to 3 times a week, maybe even more, within a few weeks, you should hopefully feel a bit of change, a bit more loose in the shoulders, not so restricted. Nice, come back through center. And our final pose here, we'll come into downward facing dog, but nice bent knee, downward facing dog. This isn't usually the way that I would teach it. With this version for here, what I'd like you to do is press the hands down into the ground and trying to reach your chest towards your thighs. Trying to reach your chest as close as you can towards the thighs. If this is at all pinchy for you in the shoulders, then please back off. Take a couple of breaths right there. And then shift forward. Bring the knees down. And we're all done. Thank you, everybody.